Davila faked the shovel pass. He's sacked. Fumbles the ball. It's loose at the 7. It's picked up by Francis Maka. Touchdown, SaberCats!
Okay, from what I saw, I beat my guy off. The center slid out to me. I beat him on the edge, but he stepped up right into, I believe it was Joe Sykes. And Joe caused the fumble, and the ball was right in front of me. Normally I would have just dove on it, but I thought I had it, and I did.
Nickna, plenty of time, looking deep downfield. He's got it! Touchdown, SaberCats!
Welcome to SaberCats Weekly here on Comcast Sportsnet. I'm Chris Townsend. Well, the SaberCats absolutely beat up on the Arizona Rattlers last Friday at the SAP Center. Coming up next, we'll go over the highlights with the head coach, Darren Arbett, and we'll talk with one of my favorite SaberCats of all time, the future Hall of Famer, Cleve Thomas. That's all coming up next, right here on SaberCats Weekly.
Hi SaberCat fans, my name is Noella and this is my first year as a Saber Kitten. My favorite part of being a Saber Kitten is being able to run out in the arena in our opening performance and hearing the SaberCats fans cheer loud. Let's go SaberCats!
The Saber Kitten of the Week has been brought to you by Norton by Symantec.
Well, now joining us on SaberCats Weekly, the owner and head coach of your San Jose SaberCats, Darren Arbett. And Coach, what a wild one last Friday at the SAP Center. You had the undefeated Arizona Rattlers coming into town, and you just took it to them. What was that game like from the sidelines?
It was a great game. I was happy for the team. They've been working so hard, and to get a win like that is showing that they're making a lot of progress.
And that very first drive, you really utilized the offensive line in the passing game first. Rich Ranglin had an unbelievable one-handed grab. That was a huge play to really get Nathan Stanley going.
He was in the zone all night. That was a great catch, phenomenal catch. Opened up his hip, caught it at the high point, did a nice job pulling that ball in.
And then last week we had Jeff Nady right here on SaberCats Weekly saying, hey, when are you going to tell Coach Arbett to get you the football? And on the very first drive, he does get a catch and a touchdown.
Did a nice job running his route, caught the ball, easy touchdown.
Jumbo package in, it's not a running play. They toss to the end, and Jeff Nady has a touchdown. 2 passes to the tight end, and I'll tell you right now, Nathan Stanley's throwing to the big fat guys as if they were wide receivers.
And then now you got your defense really working as the first sack allowed by Arizona for the first time in 12 games. Terrence Carter with the sack. Francis Maka would pick it up and take it into the end zone.
Terrence Carter, I'd been giving him a hard time about Davila getting to him, did a nice job, got him in the small of his back, gave the ball up, Francis scooped and scored with it.
And what did that mean right there for you to have your defense get you on the board?
It's huge. They've been doing it all year. They're playing great. They're relentless up front, and game in and game out, they make those type of plays.
And then Odie Armstrong on the next drive would take it in to make it 28-7. How you feeling at that point?
Feeling good. Like I said, I'm happy for the players because they've been putting in so much work. And just to be able to cash it in, let's say, and get a victory like that is showing them that they're making a lot of progress.
So you're up 28-7. Arizona has a 4th and 10 on their next possession. And Davila just goes deep, and it's incomplete. And here it is, another stop for your defense.
Our guys came up and played them tough on the line of scrimmage and ran with them, and they just couldn't complete those balls.
1st and goal from the 10. Stanley end zone. Touchdown, Rod Harper.
And then Rod Harper with one in the back of the end zone in the corner, and that would make the score now 34-7.
Our offensive line did a nice job protecting. That's something that we hadn't done well and challenged them, and I'm real proud of them. They came out and they got it done up front.
And then you'd have another 4th down situation and another stop by your defense, and I can tell you, Coach, at this point, everybody in the arena is like, wow, this is a dismantling.
It is, and the guys did a nice job. I don't know the dismantling. They played hard. They practiced hard. They were in the meeting rooms. They spent a lot of time in there, and it carried over into the football game.
Give it to Armstrong running right, and he walks right in. Touchdown, SaberCats.
And then Odie Armstrong would take it in once again, and now we're looking at a score, Coach, of 41-7 heading into halftime.
You know, we always talk about don't look at the scoreboard, let's just play football. They did a nice job keeping their eyes off the scoreboard and into what they were doing out on the football field.
Nick Davila would be out coming back for the second half, and it would be Jason Marietta. What was your thought when you knew their starting quarterback was out to start the second half?
We were worried about what we were going to do. You know, we needed to cover better. We needed to rush the passer better. We needed to execute on offense better. We needed to protect better. It was about what we were doing.
How did you feel as you start the second half with an interception and your defense does it again and you got that 41-7 lead?
You know, they talked about that. Coach Walker had them huddled up. Hey, let's drive on some balls. Let's get more pressure on them and let's start getting some more takeaways. And they came out and executed.
Well, Odie Armstrong with a couple more touchdowns. Arizona would get on the board, but the final in this one, 62-33. What was it like in your locker room after the game, after such a big win against Arizona?
I wanted the players to enjoy it. I wanted them to have some fun because they've worked so hard to get to that point. And it's taken a lot of work, Chris, and they understand that. I mean, a lot of time at practice, meetings in the weight room, and it all carried over into that game and they played great.
Wardrobe has been provided by Casera Clothers.
There's no question the San Jose SaberKittens are the best dance team in the Arena Football League, and this past week we took you behind the scenes to show you what it's like on game day.
So we typically start with the opening of the game. We arrive here early, we rehearse for several hours. Their job starts with the intro. They want to make this grand intro, make it spectacular. We put on about a 2-minute routine, Sabres involved. We have pyro, lights, music, video, everything. It's just to kind of get the crowd going for our basic intro. Really watch your lines on quarter break. Watch your first formation that you're in that diagonal real good. Okay, here we go. Go, 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 go. Then as we proceed through the game, we do a big quarter break routine, and that's a dance routine with every single team member in it, huge in the middle of the field. It's awesome, fun pop music. And then they just kind of continue with the regular cheerleading things, defense, little cheers here and there, short dances, just everything to get the crowd involved. Here we go! Step it up, we just scored. We need to be a little bit bigger, step it up, okay? Step it up. Jump, kick. You're having fun. Pivot turn. That's where you're at with that. I try to give them pep talks. Big, I want big. Jump, kick. I occasionally might walk down the line and kind of, I need you to be a little bit more energetic. I remind them that a cheerleader's job is to cheer. Let's get excited. When we split in half right now, I want you guys to stay spread out in 2 lines. Go down to the next window behind her. Go down to the next window behind her. I want her in windows. Should anything weird happen with sound, just keep dancing. And if anything, count out loud.
Okay.
I'm sure Bree would too.
Okay. Okay, she'll catch on to that real fast.
Yeah, yeah.
She'll start singing.
Yeah, exactly. Do it. I have a little bit of an opportunity in the locker room. So what I really want to happen when we scoot over for the sides, I want it to be really nice and filled in. We tend to, all of a sudden we're gonna go off and we're jamming over there and everybody's shoulder to shoulder. You need to have enough space for windows, make the 2 lines. If you're not doing a sideline, that's fine. If you're just doing bounce, clap, that's fine. I just want it to look fuller. You guys are doing great. We just need more. Your cheerleaders, remember my whole cheerleader speech? I want jumping up and down. I want tumbling, everything. Okay, I'm excited. We like to kind of have the crowd feel like we're a part of them. You guys want a set of palms? You're welcome. You gotta cheer loud though. You gotta be big. There we go. You gotta be nice and big. So we're throwing t-shirts out there. We're slingshotting t-shirts. Here, slingers. Who's the slinger? Noel, breathe. Let's go. We get them into YMCA, Sweet Caroline sometimes, doing the wave, and we just kind of want it to be an experience that they feel like they're involved with the cheerleaders on a personal level. Right here. Yeah! There it is. I cheer myself. Woo! Yes! Woo! What? Yeah! How about that? Okay. We are kicking ass. We're kicking their asses. Get really into the game and get them excited about the game.
Your SaberCats.
This SaberCats Week 17 Defensive Player of the Game is, well, because the team was so strong, we're going with the entire defense as the player of the game. They held the previously undefeated Rattlers to just 7 points through the first 3 quarters of play, and at one point forced turnovers on 7 consecutive Arizona possessions to allow the SaberCats to run away with the victory. The Defensive Player of the Game has been brought to you by Fries.com. Well, we have a treat for you today here on SaberCats Weekly because we're with one of the greatest players who have ever played in this league, Cleve and Thomas. Cleve, how are you doing?
Thanks for having me, first off. Second off, I'm doing good. Excited about the game, about playing the game, actually.
Well, after that game last week against Arizona, I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of people in the arena were shocked. You know, you got Arizona coming in. They're 14-0. Number 1 offense. You know, they've won some Arena Bowls. A very good team. Kevin Guy is a very good coach. Yeah. They've beaten you 2 straight. And you guys went out and thumped them. Were you surprised at all how badly you beat them? At one point it was 55-7.
In all honesty, I really wasn't, because I know how hard the guys in the locker room have worked, and also, you know, all the strides that we have made to even get better, and also to challenge ourselves each week. And I practice with these guys week in and week out. So that's been on our mind from day one, you know what I mean? And the first 2 times that we did play them, it came down to 7 points and 9 points. Defense standpoint, we had a chance to finish them, and they scored like with about 2 seconds left both times. So coach put more on us about with that. The defense had to do more because it came down to us the first 2 games. That was on our mind the whole game from the first drive, you know what I mean? So we went out, and you know, everything that we called pretty much executed. It was just one of them nights that everybody believed in the guy next to him, everybody trusted in the game plan, and everything came together.
From a defensive standpoint, I saw a defense that was more physical than their offense, especially in a game that's set up purely for the offense to succeed. Yeah. You guys had 7 straight stops. Talk about how you were more physical.
Kind of like I said, first 2 times we played them, coach showed us film of plays that we wasn't aggressive on screens as far as our tackling, you know what I mean, not finishing, you know, driving through receivers, not trying to get the ball out. So he showed us, you know, like footage on that, showing us that we wasn't physical enough to actually win the game. You know what I mean? But this game we came out with emphasis on our mind of we gonna dominate from play 1. We gonna impose our will. It's like I said, you know, it was one of them nights, you know, everything you put into it, everything kind of hit, and we were clicking on all cylinders.
Cleve, when you think about being a veteran, you think about being in this game a long, long time. You talk about the guys, they're younger than you are, they're faster than they were before, but how does, you know, all of your experience in this game help you combat those younger guys?
I remember when I was at Florida State, you know, I had a defensive coordinator, Mickey Andrews. He always taught us it starts at the line of scrimmage. So he said, at the line of scrimmage, as long as you're fundamentally sound, you can already detect and you could take emphasis on how he's going to attack you. So just trying to be fundamentally sound at the line of scrimmage, you know, point of emphasis as a guy releasing off the ball, his hand placement, trying to force him like the way that I want him to go instead of him, you know what I mean, dictating to me. So just really just hopping on that, everything starts at the line of scrimmage and not worrying about the guy I'm going against or how big, how fast he is, but worrying about me being fundamentally sound, and that kind of like pretty much eliminated a whole lot of things that he could do.
When you think about your career, playing at Florida State, the Arena Bowl victories, what's this football career life been like for you?
Man, I thank God, honestly, because, you know, as far as my health, number 1, not being injury prone, I have a great wife at home. She's, you know, she's on board, and she allowed me to come play. She hold down the fort while I'm here. You know, my son, he's on board. He just turned 15. So I'm just thankful. I thank God, though, day in and day out for my health and just having a wife who understands this football, you know, life and, you know, the sacrifice that we had to make in order to be successful. So I thank God for her as well.
73 career interceptions. Truly one of the great careers ever in the Arena Football League. Always a pleasure to have you here on SaberCats Weekly. Be well, and good luck on getting that next trophy.
Thank you. We look forward to it.
The SaberCats Week 17 Offensive Player of the Game is fullback Odie Armstrong. Making his first start since being activated from injured reserve, Armstrong was a difference maker. Against his former team, he had 10 carries for 17 yards and tied a career high with 4 touchdowns to help end the Rattlers' perfect season. Offensive Player of the Game has been brought to you by Fries.com.
Now it's time to get behind the face mask. Hey, SaberCats! Which of your teammates would win Dancing with the Stars?
David Highland is winning Dance with the Stars.
Rich Wrangler.
When Dancing with the Stars, I probably have to give it to Rich Wrangler.
You're looking at him.
I think that we might have a toss-up there. I'd go with Reggie Gray or Rich Wrangler.
On this team, I think Dancing with the Stars will probably be my boy George Bussey. He's a pretty good two-stepper.
That'll be Jason Stewart, which is myself talking in third person.
Dancing with the Stars, I have to go with Dave.
Dancing with the Stars, it'd be a battle out of me, Reggie Gray, and Bussey.
Cats Questions has been brought to you by Norton by Symantec. The head coach of the San Jose SaberCats with us once again here on SaberCats Weekly. And Coach, let's talk about young Nathan Stanley. What a big start for him. You know, you're in a situation to where you're trying to replace Russ Mickna. You've done it a couple times this year, but here you have Arizona, 14-0 on the season, and this guy ended up managing a terrific game.
He really did, and I say it week in and week out. It means something to him. He wants to play well, and he prepares like no one I've ever had. Here early, here late. Always watching film, always communicating with his receivers.
Talk about his skill set, because what I see is big guy, strong arm, good feet, can run if he needs to. What are you seeing in the overall package in this young quarterback?
Great drop, great release, able to read the field. And I say that in the arena game, it's different than the outdoor game. He's getting better and better every week of reading coverage. So I would say reading coverage. And just his command in the huddle and his leadership ability, it's really starting to take over now.
You know, the most impressive thing I thought about the game overall was just the physicality. You were more physical than they were. This was a game you needed to win. They'd already beaten you twice this year. You didn't want to lose for a third straight time. And also was a game just physically you sent a message, probably going to meet again in the postseason, and what a game it's going to be.
Pride. And that's all we talked about. You got to have some pride. This was the third time we were playing this football team, and they had gotten physical with us. You know, what are you going to do? You're going to stick your head in the sand, or are you going to go out there and fight with them? And we went out there and we fought with them.
You forced 7 straight turnovers on downs in this one, of course, with a few 5 on downs, 1 interception, 1 fumble. Every single time Davila went back to pass, you guys hit him, and you hit him hard.
You know, I look at it a different way. Yes, we were hitting Davila or whatever the quarterback's names are that we're hitting, but it's the technique. It's how you beat the man in front of you. What is the scheme? Playing within the scheme, trusting your teammate to be where he's supposed to be. Those are the things we're trying to get over to the guys right now.
Now, after you have a big win like that, because obviously it was a big win, you geared up. What's the key now as you go down to Los Angeles and you're going to play on Sunday? What is the key for not having a letdown?
Individual plays. Now, all those individual plays, you put it together, it's a win. But the guys understand they won a lot of individual plays. They believed in their teammate. They believed in the system, what play was being ran. And they're going to have to do that week in and week out, and they've been doing that.
You got the LA Kiss on Sunday. They've had a lot of turnover with their roster. What does that roster look like right now for you?
They have a lot of talent. They have some good receivers. Bo Bell, you know, leading the league in sacks right now. Their offensive line's a lot better. And anytime you have Aaron Garcia, you know, he can win football games. That's what he's been doing. Their defensive backs, they got some new guys in there, big, physical, can run. So they're a good football team.
What's it going to mean to you to clinch this division and also a playoff berth?
You know, to be the second one down. You know, first you want to get into the playoffs, second you want to win your division, and third you want to win the championship. So it'll be goal number 2 down.
And when I think about putting a roster together, what I like about this roster, it's just not all veteran guys. You got young guys, you got veteran guys, and it seems that the young guys can put a little extra spirit into the veteran guys. You see that here in this locker room?
I really do, and we got to talk about the coaches. I mean, last week I thought Coach Omar Smith, Jeff Jarnigan, Jasper Harvey, Cedric Walker, they did a nice job with the game plan, putting it together for Arizona. And you're right, we have some young guys that I think they're developing and doing a nice job with.
Well, it was a terrific win for you, Coach, beating Arizona the way you did. Now it's time to take care of business in L.A. Good luck on Sunday.
Hey, thanks, Chris.
The San Jose SaberCats head back out on the road this Sunday against the LA Kiss at 5 o'clock. You can see the game right here on Comcast Sportsnet or hear it on KMBR 1050. With a win, they'll clinch the Pacific Division in the Arena Football League. Of course, we'll have all the highlights for you next week right here on SaberCats Weekly. We'll see you next time.
SaberCats Weekly has been brought to you by Dr. Sharma South Bay Orthopedic and Sports Medicine, Casera Clothers, Norton by Symantec, and Fries.com.